Today, on the Bearded Movie Guide looks at One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's Classic Tuesdays. Let's see what it's about. Brought to you by the Bearded Movie Guide. Hi, I'm the Bearded Movie Guide, and this week on Classic Tuesdays, we look at One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a 1975 film directed by Milos Forman, starring Jack Nicholson, Louise Fletcher, Danny DeVito, Brad Dourif, and Christopher Lloyd. Let's look at what it's about. Jack Nicholson plays Randall McMurphy. He is a troublemaker. He's been in and out of jail his whole life. He just gets into trouble. He just doesn't like things, so he'll break stuff, and then they'll send him to jail, and he'll be there for a while, then he gets out, and then he does it again. While he's in jail this one stint, he figures, I have an idea. I'm just not going to do what they want me to do, ever. And it kind of works, because what he thinks is they're going to send him to the Cuckoo's Nest, which to him is the insane asylum. And they do. So, they send him to the insane asylum, where he's not wearing handcuffs, where he's allowed to watch TV, where he basically thinks he's going to hang out for the rest of his period of being in jail and not have to do any stupid work and just act crazy for a little while, and then he's free. So they send him to Crazyville, where he meets Nurse Ratched. Nurse Ratched is a very straight-laced nurse that thinks she knows what's best for everyone. She is one of the biggest villains I've ever seen in film history. She would give Megatron a run for his money any day of the week. So, he comes in, he meets her, he figures, okay, I'll just be nice to her and she'll let me do whatever I want. He meets the rest of the guys. This is made up of a diverse cast. They had lots of different guys. He starts making friends and slowly starts getting into their lives and actually starts helping them. There's a guy who's a really big Indian, and he doesn't do anything except push a broom around. And Jack Nicholson's character is the first one who tries to actually talk to him. And everyone's like, stop talking to him, he's not going to do anything. And he talks to him, and he keeps on talking to him, and he gets him to play basketball. He's like, put your arms up, and he forces his arms up, and then he's like, okay, now push it into the hole. And sooner or later, you know what? He actually starts responding. This kind of drives the nurse nuts, because she doesn't like the fact that he's helping them, and she thinks she knows what's best, and they get into this huge conflict. All I'm going to say for the rest of it is, it's about Randall trying to help people, while at the same time thinking he's going to get out of the sanathon in 60 days, when he finds out, wait a minute, I could be here forever if they think I'm nuts. And Nurse Ratched is not about to let him go because she hates him that much. Let's look at the cast of this movie. This is an insanely good cast, and they use this cast incredibly well. So you have Jack Nicholson, a very young Jack Nicholson, and he is just terrific. You really see how talented he is. Man, he really is a great actor when he wants to be. Especially when he was younger, when he was kind of pushing the envelope and seeing where he could go. He is phenomenal in this. You can see that he really cares about everyone and really wants what's best, but at the same time is just a troublemaker and just doesn't want to fit in. Louise Fletcher as Nurse Ratched, she just personifies evil. In a story where you're the bad guy, you don't know you're the bad guy. And she just shows that. To her, she thinks she's the good guy. She thinks she's the hero of the story. She's the dutiful nurse that is helping people get better. That's what she thinks. Meanwhile, she's actually causing more behaviors. Then you have Danny DeVito. Man, he is so young looking and so short, I didn't even recognize him. And you have Brad Dourif, who you may know as Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings. He's great in this. And this was Christopher Lloyd's first movie ever. That's saying something. Because we know he's a talent. It's Doc Brown. Come on, man. Here's the really impressive thing. They filmed this in a hospital. Milos Forman actually went to a real hospital and said, can we film here? And then they had the guys who were all the actors except Jack come in and stay there for 10 days. They rehearsed in the morning, and then in the afternoon, they just hung out. The one guy who's a doctor in the film is actually the doctor of the institute that they filmed at. He went around to give every actor a diagnosis of what they're troubled with. And so he's like, you have schizophrenia, and you are depressed, and you have paranoia. And then he went and paired them up with people at the hospital who were real patients so that they could have time to sit with them and talk with them if they could, and just observe them so that they would know kind of what that looked like. So when Jack Nicholson came in, after they'd been there for 10 days, and they had lunch together, everyone was still in character. It wasn't something the director told them to do. They just did it. They really stayed in character the whole time. And he was looking around going, what? Like, he thought he was with actual mental patients that were suffering from problems. They were that good. So much so that Danny DeVito started talking to an imaginary friend, for real, when he went home at night. And he asked the doctor, is this a problem? And he went, do you know it's an imaginary character? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you're fine. You're just lonely. It's okay. The direction on this is great. They barely leave the grounds. Milos Forman was really, I want to keep them in here. I want to feel contained and claustrophobic of stuck in this hospital. And they get one outing, which is really funny, and again, shows that McMurphy is really actually a good guy, and he just wants to cause trouble, but in that process, he's going to do something good. The direction for Foreman is just spot on. He gets everything right. He makes you feel like you're stuck there and you're just watching what's going on as a patient that's stuck in a chair somewhere. The movie is phenomenal. I watched this when I was younger and I didn't quite get it, but I got it now. This is a fully bearded movie. Jack Nicholson's insanely awesome. The rest of the cast does a terrific job. It tells a compelling story about mental health in the 70s. All in all, it's just a terrific film. So, have you seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Are you going to see it? And what's your favorite Jack Nicholson film? And don't say Batman, because come on, it's just, no. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay bearded, everyone. You've been watching Bearded Movie Guy Classic Tuesdays. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Jack Nicholson was kind of cuckoo by the end of the film. And then, well, I'm not going to talk about the end of the film, yeah. Watch the movie, it's really good. Subscribe and tell your friends. And as always, you're told safely.